Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are all doing great. As you can tell from the title down below, I'm going to be sharing with you some of our favorite purchases from 2021. And these are just the homeschool-y, educational toys and games, and honestly educational, even some curriculum, just things that we absolutely love from 2021. As a disclaimer, there are 2 items that were bought near the end of 2021, but they did make it into this list only because we have thoroughly loved them. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I honestly was not going to put these in any particular order, but as I was naming them and as I'm looking at my list in front of me right now, it's kind of clear that I think I did put them in order unintentionally. So my number 1 purchase from 2021, and this is actually quite a surprise to me when I was thinking about what my favorite items were, and that was actually my preschooler's curriculum from The Good, the Beautiful. I got her the PreK Curriculum last year. She already completed it, so we'll be jumping into kindergarten now. I loved how they incorporated art appreciation, how they incorporated poetry. Yes, there wasn't enough handwriting or anything like that, but everything else was just done in a beautiful way, and my preschooler actually ended up loving it. So at the end of her book, she ended up doing a little show and tell, and it was really sweet to see her stand up and kind of show us, her family, kind of the concepts that she's learned and everything like that. So yeah, number 1 would definitely be our PreK curriculum from The Good, the Beautiful. What you looking for, honey? You guys having fun? The second favorite purchase from 2021 was actually a purchase that we made, I believe, back in March of last year. And it's been a favorite. We take it with us pretty much everywhere because it is very travel friendly, and I just love it. And my kids do too. So I should probably mention that these are my kids' favorites too, but it probably goes without saying, but that is the imagination patterns. I have shared this so many times on my channel, so I apologize for the redundancy and the repetitiveness of some of these items I'm going to share with you. But we just thoroughly enjoy this, and it's something that, Lord willing, we don't lose all the pieces to, that my other little babies coming up will be able to also play with it and everything like that. So we love it. Again, it's great for transporting, it's magnetic, so it's great for car rides and everything like that. And I just love it because going beyond the actual little flashcards that it comes with, you can create honestly whatever you want with all the different shapes. But that's been one of our favorite, by far one of our favorite activities from last year. The third favorite, I guess it's kind of 2 favorites in one, but we'll go ahead and mention the first one. And that is the Ocean Bingo, specifically from the brand Lawrence King. I'll have a picture up above here for you, but we have the Ocean Bingo and the Insect Bingo, or Bug Bingo, or something like that. And it has been a ton of fun. Like last year we played it a lot. Honestly, it's how the kids learned a lot of those unique ocean animals and a lot of those unique insects. We do a lot of ocean unit studies only because there's so much information about the ocean, whether it be like the actual beach part or the rocky coastal, like what lives under what part of the ocean. There's just so much to learn and my kids love it. But whenever we did do the ocean unit study, we would pull out the bingo, and my kids now know hundreds of different like those little unique critters that live under the ocean that honestly otherwise we probably wouldn't even know about, and they all did it in a game form. And of course bingo is fun, and it's really fun for the whole family. You could start when they're like 2 or 3 and go all the way up. So we love ocean and the insect bingo. My 4th favorite purchase from last year, and this should probably be close to my number 1 favorite purchase because it's amazing. And it's actually something really simple, but it's an electric pencil sharpener. I actually did not own one until the end of last year, or it's kind of like September, October, or something like that. But I love it. Like the one that we have, I'll insert a clip here, is absolutely amazing. It takes like 3 seconds to completely sharpen the entire pencil. You're not eating away the entire pencil while you're trying to get it sharpened. And the kids are not frustrated because we have a lot of those little handheld little ones that you twist. I know you know what I mean. But those little tiny handheld ones that just don't hold up very well. And they would just get so frustrated, and then I would spend like an hour sharpening pencils so they would be able to use them again. But just we actually keep our pencil sharpener plugged in at all times, pretty much all times anyway, on our dining room table next to where we keep our pencils. And so they're able to utilize them more. They just stick it in there for 2 or 3 seconds. It's super sharp. So we have been loving the electric pencil sharpener, especially the mama has. So our 5th favorite purchase, and this is honestly a Christmas gift for my kiddos, but I like to mention it because we do play with them all year round. That was the previous sets that we did have, or do have I should say, and that is magnet tiles. Our family family loves magnet tiles. I don't think there's a single day that goes by, honestly, without the kids playing with them. They're building things with them. They make little homes for their critters. They make boxes, they make tables, they do everything with them. But they recently came out with a few new sets, magnet tiles did. So for Christmas, I got my little guy the builder set, and then my daughter the jungle set, and oh my goodness, it's been a non-stop play. You can incorporate the different pieces and the different like animals and the different like the excavator and crane and things like that into the tiles that they already have, and so that has been such a huge highlight, and I know they'll be playing with that for all of 2022 most likely. My sixth favorite purchase from last year is actually a handwriting book that I got specifically for my preschooler. As I mentioned before, her curriculum did not have that much handwriting practice, so I was looking around for a good handwriting thing that would incorporate just a lot of different skills and things like that. And I ended up loving, and I still do love, the Scribbler to Scribe book. It's a manuscript writing book. And it is what it is. It starts out where you're learning how to trace the lines and the shapes and everything like that. And then you go into your letter formations, and then by the end of it, you're writing whole Bible verses and everything like that. But we really, really loved this book, and she has too, which speaks for itself. The seventh favorite thing, and I know a lot of people can probably relate to this, but it might be a pro or con in your house depending, and that is we actually love poppets. We use them for a lot of different things. That we use them, I've mentioned this before on my channel, that we use them, we'll write the alphabet on the little poppets, and so we'll spell out words. I'll have Oliver, can you spell the sight word like, and so he'll pop the little like on the little poppets. And same with like numbers and everything like that. But it's just a really fun way, a fun interactive way to where they're feeling the different either letters or numbers. And yeah, it just makes everything into a fun game. And so poppets definitely be number 7. My 8th favorite purchase from last year is definitely a library card outside of our county's library. That makes sense. So in our state, they allow you to check out books and take part in their library, and I think it's only $32. I think it was $32. So I ended up doing a couple other different counties around us because our county's library is relatively small. Yes, there is a lot of options, but there's not a ton. So having the 3 or 4 different larger county libraries around where we can have access to check books out, check things out, and everything like that, and they're still easily within that 25-minute driving distance, it makes it amazing. So I definitely recommend, if you do have a smaller library, to try to get a library card from a bigger library next door, or however far away it is, because it's definitely worth it, only because we do check out a lot of books, and we go through them a lot quickly, and so I feel like within just a matter of months, I feel like we've kind of checked out all the books that we could from a certain like spot, depending on what the kids are interested in. So having access to a couple different ones has been amazing. My 9th favorite purchase, and this has been, I should say it should be at the top of my list again, but it's not. That is an Abacus. We use it all the time, especially for math games, for counting games, and everything like that. We'll put it up on the table and we'll say, okay, well, what is 2 green, 2 purple, and 3 yellow? Like, what does that equal? So they'll count them out and play with it that way. They'll do addition, subtraction, and everything like that on it. And it's just, again, a really, really fun, hands-on, and manipulative way for them to do math. So yeah, definitely an Abacus has been a top favorite from last year. So my 10th, and there'll probably ended up being a bonus one because I didn't have room for it, but number 10 would be story cubes. I know you probably heard of them, but what they are these little cubes with little pictures on them, and you roll them. They're kind of like little dice, and you roll them out on the table, and the kids have to use their creativity and their imagination to come up with a story based on the pictures that they rolled. So no matter who rolls it or how many times you roll it, the pictures are all going to be somewhat different, which makes it fun and unique and exciting. So every time they roll the dice, it's going to be a different story. They're going to have their different spin on it. And it is so much fun to hear and to see my kindergartner and preschooler come up with totally two different storylines with the same pictures. And sometimes they'll just like the same storyline, but they want to change it a little bit, so they'll roll a couple of dice to change it and everything like that. But it's a really fun way to get those creative juices kind of flowing, so to speak, and start that creative writing process, so to speak, really early and at a young age. And yeah, it's just been fun, especially as their mama, seeing their imagination come to life by something so simple as like a handful of dice with pictures on it. So the bonus thing I wanted to mention, and this is actually a newer purchase of mine, and that is manners cards. I found these when our family went to visit my husband's family for Thanksgiving, and we went to a little toy shop in a local town over there, and they had the manor cards. I thought they were adorable. They're a couple little piggies, and they go through all the different manors, really thick batch of little manners cards. So you go through the deck and you see all the different manners, and it asks you a question, so you interact with the kids, like, what would you do in this circumstance? So they can either answer, or you can flip it over and you can see the actual answer for each manor. Well guys, that is everything I wanted to share with you today. There's probably another 10 that I could go through, but those were the first 10 to 11 that really instantly came to my mind when it came to our 2021 favorites and what we really just loved last year. And so I will go ahead and leave it at that, but I do appreciate you guys being here watching today's video. And as always, if you haven't, I'd love to have you join our family, and you can do so by subscribing down below. And until our next video, you guys stay safe and God bless. Bye.